Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. In the interest of your safety and enjoyment of today's events, please listen to the following message. According to New York State law, there is no smoking in the event center. For your safety, please note that fire exits are clearly marked by exit signs. Kindly take a moment to identify the location of the fire exit nearest you, keeping in mind that it may be behind you. In the event of an emergency, an alarm will sound and you should calmly and safely exit the building at that time. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen,
alone. And kind of have each other too. There's like more than one of every instrument.
See if you got me. I'm alone too.
I meant not like from my section. Like if I drop out, it probably sounds like you heard it before me or aren't hearing it. Make a shout out. Stay safe.
Stay away.
Fantastic pipes and drums! Skull and the Brave set! Band ready! By the center! Quick march!
Good morning. I'm Faculty Grand Marshal John Starks, and I would like to call to order the commencement of the Harpur College of Arts and Sciences of the State University of New York at Binghamton. Everyone, please rise as you are able. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. We welcome you to join vocalist Kelsey Watts in singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wheeled at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of all brave?
Please be seated.
As president of Binghamton University, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the Harpur College of Arts and Sciences ceremony. Congratulations to you all. Before we proceed with our program, I would like to welcome members of the Binghamton University Council who are joining us today. Catherine Grant Madigan, Linda Beamer, Dennis McCabe, and James Orban. I would also like to introduce our other special guests. They will stand as I call their names. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Binghamton University Foundation member, Sheldon Goldfarb. Donald Neiman, Provost, Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. Richard Byrne, Alumni Award recipient. Elizabeth Chilton, Harpur College of Arts and Sciences Dean. Curtis Kendrick, Dean, University Libraries. Gary Keibel, Alumni Association President. Michael McGough, Senior Vice Provost and Chief Financial Officer. Gloria Meredith, Founding Dean, School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Pamela Mission, Associate Professor and Faculty Advisor to the President. Joanne Navarro, Vice President for Operations. Brian Rose, Vice President for Student Affairs. Ashley Cervanich, Professional Staff Senate. Jack Dillman, Student Speaker. Please join me in applauding these special guests. Let me also recognize all of the esteemed faculty members who have mentored and guided our graduates. Your efforts have been crucial to the intellectual growth and achievements we celebrate today. Will all faculty on the stage and in the audience rise? Please join me as we applaud their support of and dedication to the success of our students. I would also like to thank the Binghamton University Wind Symphony, our vocalist, and Broome County Celtic Pipes and Drums for their participation in today's celebration. Now, if you were paying attention, you might have noticed that I missed one person who's on the stage, and that's Senator Charles Schumer. Senator Schumer is all of our great friends. He is a supporter of Binghamton University in the greatest ways possible. Short introduction is what he asked for, so it's time to listen to Senator Charles Schumer.
Thank you, President Stenger, and first let me thank him and all of BU's faculty and staff. This is one of the best universities, not just in New York State, but in our country. And his leadership has been amazing. So thank you, President Stenger. Now, to the class of 2018, congratulations. BU, you are the greatest. Now, first, I'd like to announce my class gift. As you know, it's hard to pay for college and graduate school. If you're poor, the federal government helps you out. That's a good thing, but what about the middle class? So a few years ago, I wrote a law that said you or your parents, whoever paid for college or graduate school, can take as a full tax credit $2,500 off your federal taxes for every year of tuition, provided, in Washington there's always a provided your family income is below $200,000 a year. So if you come from a family that makes below $200,000, make sure you or mom or dad, whoever paid, takes that credit. It's relatively new, and about a quarter of all the families who were entitled to it didn't do it last year, and if you forgot, you can actually fill out a simple form with the IRS and get 3 years back and get a check of up to $7,500 in the mail. Not bad. Now, what happens if you come from a family that makes above $200,000 a year? God bless you. I'd like to say a word to the moms and dads. I know how you feel. A few short years ago, my wife Iris and I sat just where you did, watched our daughter Jessica come up on the platform, get her diploma. It was one of the greatest days of our life. And you know, if you're like us, you think back to the hard times. It's not so easy raising kids these days. We remembered when Jessica was 4 months old, had 106.5 fever. We rushed her to the hospital, didn't think she'd make it. Praise God, she did. We remembered when we put her on the kindergarten bus for the first time. And as the bus pulled away, she ran to the back of the bus, waved goodbye out the back window, tears streaming down her little cheeks. But at 2 o'clock on the bus's return, when Iris went to meet her, she bounded off the bus, happy as could be. She said, "Mommy, I came back." When we talked to her that night, we found out what was going on in her little brain. She thought that was it. New parents, new family, new house, new neighborhood. Then we remembered Jessica as a teenager, when she didn't say much to us. And when she did, we didn't understand a word she said. And then moms and dads, you see your daughters and sons get that diploma and become an adult before your very eyes. Congratulations to the moms and dads. Job well done. And one more word of thanks. As we're having a great morning here at Binghamton University, there are young men and women, many of them your age, who have volunteered to go into our armed forces. Many of them right now are in dangerous places like Iraq and Afghanistan, and they are risking their lives for our freedom and our American way of life. Let's have a round of applause for them as well. Now, to this great class of 2018, you are graduating at a time of enormous change across the country and around the world. It's an era of profound economic change, profound social change. The world is moving so very, very fast. In the old days, for instance, you graduated from college and the odds were pretty high you'd have the same job or at least work in the same field for the next 40 years. That's not so true anymore. Most of you will have several jobs, many of you several different careers. Along with these economic changes, the internet has put out so much information available at your fingertips that it's sometimes hard to figure out what's important and to distinguish between what is true and what isn't. And around the world there have been a lot of changes too, not all of them for the better. When I graduated from college, words like terrorism and mass shootings were never heard. But the good news is this: your generation is better equipped to deal with this changing world than any generation before you. You've gotten a great education here at Binghamton University. You know, only 1/3 of all young people your age will get a college degree, and yours is better than just about any that are offered in America. You also have great families, and they will have your backs through thick and thin no matter what happens. And third, you're the first generation to really be born into all this new technology. You know, your parents, your teachers, me, we try to get used to it, but it's not so easy for us. But for you, it's a natural. Technology is to your generation as water is to a fish. You've been swimming in it your whole lives. So, for all these reasons, your generation is better equipped to overcome the obstacles the new world presents, better equipped to seize the opportunities the new world affords, and better equipped to pursue your passions, to dream big dreams, and maybe even accomplish some really big things. Right now, though, sitting in your seats, you may not be sure of what's going to come next. With so much of the world changing so quickly, it may sometimes feel like you're jumping into an abyss. But my advice, graduates, is simple. Don't fear the unknown. Don't fear change. Embrace it, relish it, soak it up, and don't let a big setback, any setback, stand in your way. Because if you embrace change, don't let setbacks stand in your way, don't let the fear of failing deter you, the odds are very high you, like our guest speaker today, who graduated from BU years ago, will succeed. Now, how do I know? I've experienced these things myself in my way. When I was seated at college graduation many decades back, as you are today, I just learned that I had won a scholarship to travel all around the world, all expenses paid for a whole year. For me, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. I was a kid from Brooklyn. I had never been out of the country before. But graduates, at the same time, I met a girl and I fell in love. I know what you're saying. Aww. Well, class, I had to decide. Do I go around the world for a whole year on the all-expense-paid scholarship? Or do I stay home with the girl, my first true love? Class of 2018, what would you have done? President Stenger, the class is divided. I stayed home with the girl. Don't clap yet, you romantics over there. The story unfolds. That summer, she went on a brief vacation, and I went to the airport to meet her on her return. As soon as she got off the plane, I saw by the look on her face something was the matter. She dumped me by Labor Day. There I was, no scholarship, no trip around the world, no girl. I said to myself, what a loser you are. You're never going to make anything of yourself. Hang it up, give up right now, it's all over. And in fact, I stayed in my house for several months, moped around, felt sorry for myself. But somehow I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and moved forward. And a few years later, I found myself seated at graduation once again, this time from law school. But on the way home from law school, I told Mom and Dad I was not going to join the fancy law firm like we had planned. I told them I loved politics. I told them my dream was to run for public office, even though it was a hard thing to do. My parents were shocked. My mother was particularly disappointed. You see, I came from a working class family. My dad was an exterminator, never went to college, never made much money, and the law firm was paying $400 a week, which in those days was more money than my family had ever seen. But my dream was to run for office, and so that fall, at the age of 23, and against very long odds, I ran for the New York State Assembly, and I had 3 opponents. There was the party machine candidate, there was a neighborhood activist, and then there was my mother, who was telling all her friends not to vote for me. So as she said, I'd get this dumb idea of being a politician out of my big, thick head. Well, graduates, a few years earlier, I sure didn't get that girl, but that November, I won the election. So, to the graduates of BU 2018, on this great day of your wonderful achievement, My advice to you is take the risk. Don't let the fear of failing deter you. For those of us who have gotten older and we look back on life, one of the more difficult moments is what I call the what ifs. What if I had only done this? What if I had only gone there? So my advice to the class of 2018 is very simple. Go for it. You're about to cast off into the unknown. Sometimes it can certainly feel very scary, but you've got great assets, your education, your family, your knowledge of technology. So garner up the courage, garner up the strength, put aside your doubts, take a chance, and if you do, it is not only my hope, it is not only my prayer, it is indeed my confidence that you, class of 2018, will find true success and true joy in life. To this great class of 2018, congratulations. Good luck, Godspeed, and don't forget, go for it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Schumer. You are amazing to come here so quickly in the morning, and now he's off to another graduation ceremony somewhere else in the state. But he might be back here later today, he said, depending upon the weather. This is a joyous time for us all. However, this year also has been marked by tragedy, as members of the campus community were shocked and dismayed to have two of their classmates die in truly heartbreaking circumstances, while a third student died near his home in January. Senior nursing student Haley Anderson, freshman engineering student Joao Souza, and freshman Aaron Dannenbring were bright, talented students with promising futures ahead of them, and the entire campus community grieves the loss of our young and vital students. Please join me in a moment of silence in remembrance of them. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Provost Donald Neiman. Don?
Good morning, Harpur. Anybody out there? Good morning, Harpur. That's better. This is a great day. It's an exciting time to celebrate your achievements. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to commencement and to be among the first to congratulate you, members of the class of 2018. Congratulations, you did it. You are a remarkable group of students. At the time you applied to Binghamton, you demonstrated that you had the academic ability to succeed at one of the best public universities in the United States. And since you arrived on our campus, whether as a freshman or a transfer student, you've not only shown that you are very bright, but you've demonstrated that you're hardworking, intellectually curious, and are willing to make the most of what this great university has to offer. You've also shown that you have a sense of humor, like to have fun, and care deeply about serving others. You embody the balance that makes Binghamton University such a wonderful place to work and to study. It's been a pleasure having you as our students. Congratulations on your many accomplishments, and I would ask that all of you stay in touch with us and keep us informed about the many, many accomplishments that are to come in the years ahead. Congratulations, graduates. And now it's my pleasure to introduce your dean, Elizabeth Chilton.
Welcome to our soon-to-be alumni, family, and friends. It is my great honor to welcome you as Dean of Harpur College of Arts and Sciences. You're about to join thousands of alumni who over the past several decades have gone on in a vast array of successful careers as professors, lawyers, teachers, authors, healthcare professionals, and performers. I know from personal experience, since I majored in anthropology, I think there might be some anthropology majors here, that some people may ask you, what can you do with a liberal arts degree? And I certainly hope that you respond, anything I want. The goal of the liberal arts curriculum is both to strengthen your intellectual skills and general knowledge, and also to help you become better problem solvers, better writers, and better able to express yourself in a wide variety of media. And I hope that your time at Binghamton has made you feel that you've achieved these things and more. My brother once said to me that majoring in anthropology was one of the most optimistic things that anyone could ever do in life. I don't think he meant that as a compliment. But I hope that as you graduate from Harpur College at Binghamton University, that you feel tremendously optimistic about your futures and well prepared for whatever challenges and opportunities life has to offer. The motto of Harpur College from the very beginning has been from breadth through depth to perspective. I am sure that at your time at Binghamton, you have gained a new perspective on life, whether you are going on to an exciting new job, graduate school, professional school, or you're just not quite sure yet. I have been Dean of Harpur only a year, but I'm continually impressed by our students, many of whom who have completed multiple degrees and engaged with any number of campus groups and off-campus activities. You've all worked hard and you've formed lifelong relationships. And I hope that many of our alumni, that you will stay connected with us as you move forward in your lives. And families and friends, we thank you for sharing your loved ones with us over the past few years. It has been our honor and pleasure to have them here. Congratulations and best wishes to all. It is now my great pleasure to introduce alumnus Richard Byrne. Richard graduated from Harpur College in 1983 with his bachelor's degree in art and obtained his MBA from the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University. Richard is the president of Benefit Street Partners. He also serves as chairman and chief executive officer of Business Development Corporation of America and chairman and chief executive officer of Benefit Street Partners, Realty Trust, Inc. Prior to joining Benefit Street Partners, Richard was chief executive officer of Deutsche Bank Securities. Before that, he was global co-head of the Leveraged Finance Group and global head of credit research at Merrill Lynch. He was also a consistently top-ranked credit analyst. Richard is a member of the board of directors of MFA Financial and New York Roadrunners. He's also the founder and executive officer of Kasai Elite Grappling Championships. I have been very pleased to get to know Richard as one of our engaged alumni. He has returned to campus to speak with students about careers and created an endowment fund in Judaic studies. It is my sincere honor and pleasure to welcome Richard to the podium and present him with the Harpur College Distinguished Alumni Award. Richard.
Well, thank you, Dean Chilton. I also want to thank Provost Neiman, President Stanger, distinguished faculty, parents, relatives, friends, everybody who's come here today, and especially, yes, you, the Harpur College class of 2018. I know it's early, but you only get to do this once. The Harpur College class of 2018. That sounds good, much better. I also want to thank Senator Schumer for agreeing to come here as my warm-up band today. That was very nice of him. So I first want to say how excited I am to be here and how honored I am to be here. This is a special place for me, and to be your commencement speaker is really an event of a lifetime for me, so thank you very much. Also, I wanted to share with you some news that I just heard that unfortunately the senator just left, because I'm sure he would have liked to have heard this. It turns out that the crowd assembled today for this commencement is the largest crowd ever to be assembled for a commencement ever, period. So we have that. As Dean Chilton went on in my biography, you may have heard that I graduated in 1983, and if you're doing the math, that's 35 years ago, which is a really long time. Or as my daughters would say, Dad, you're ancient. And a lot has changed in the world. Certainly a lot has even changed on this place. Two notable things that I noticed. One, when I went to school here, we used to be called the Colonials. I came back and you guys are called what, the Bearcats? What even is a Bearcat? Also, walking around campus, so many new buildings to what I had experienced when I was here. It's incredible. Even the living facilities, you guys live in these big, beautiful high-rises. You're very lucky. When I went to school here, I lived in College in the Woods. It wasn't the same College in the Woods. This was way before that. We actually lived in the woods. All right, is he serious? I don't know. But given all this change, what can I know that you, as fresh graduates of a top college, don't? Well, I've amassed several decades of experience in a place called the real world. It can be tough out there in a way that this nurturing environment of Harpur College just isn't. This outside place can be daunting and unforgiving, so I think you're going to need a plan. And what I did, I hope it helps, is reflected on my experiences post-graduation and tried to come up with 5 pieces of advice. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to share them with you. Good? Good? Okay. First piece of advice, your first job. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is the journey that will become your career. So let's start with people in the audience. Show of hands. How many have lined up your first job after graduation? How many of you know what you're going to do? Hands. That's pretty impressive. I wouldn't have expected anything less. Well, it may not be news to you that your first job is unlikely to be the job that ultimately, the career you settle in. But what might be news is that it's probably unlikely to even be in the industry that you're starting out. Things are going to change, and this is okay. It's not bad. What really matters is the course you plot for yourself along the way. And sometimes serendipity might even be your best form of GPS. I'll tell you my story quickly. I was an art major like some of you. Art major. And my dream was to go into advertising. I was going to be a big, famous executive, sort of like what's now depicted as Don Draper and Mad Men, that kind of thing. And I had a second choice, or another choice, and that was Wall Street. The movie Wall Street, I don't know if any of you saw it, but think of Master of the Universe. I had always followed stocks and bonds. Unfortunately, I just never had enough money to invest in any of them, but I had an aspiration there as well. But given my art background, I just thought the creative side of advertising made it seem like my first choice. So I went at it whole hog. I interviewed, and I just tried to find interviews, and I sent out letters, and I finally nailed an interview at one of the big advertising firms. And I studied for this thing. I stayed up and I did all-nighters. Studied commercials. Back in those days, there weren't even DVRs or YouTube. You literally had to watch entire shows to watch commercials. Anyway, I think I nailed the interview. The woman and I really connected who interviewed me, and towards the end of the interview, she all but told me I had the job. After this thing ended, I was on cloud 9. I began to contemplate my life as an advertising executive. 2.5 kids in a house with a dog. I mean, it was perfect. But before I got too deep into my thoughts, I had to go to the bathroom. That all-nighter was really fueled by nonstop cans of Coca-Cola. We didn't have Red Bull back then either. So I got to the bathroom, and I remember this as if it was yesterday. This is, I don't know, 35 years ago. And I looked around the bathroom, and I didn't see any urinals. And then another couple of seconds went by, and it occurred to me that, you know what, I may not be in the men's room. Another second or two, it all clicked. I needed to get out of there. I just was about to turn around. The stall door opened for the toilet, and guess who walked out? That's right, it was the woman who interviewed me. I looked at her, she looked directly at me. I couldn't even utter a sound. I turned around and left. I didn't get that job. Needless to say, it took me, I don't know, 24 more interviews, and that's what launched my career in investment banking. So sometimes it's just serendipity, which brings me to advice number 2, and this is important. Strive to be world class at everything you do, no matter how menial that this task may seem. Develop a pattern of success for yourself. Get yourself noticed. This advice came in handy for me at my first job. I was a listed equity sales trader at Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith. Liquid equity sales trader is a big job. You executed big block trades for some of the largest institutions in the world. Of course, as a brand new guy at Merrill Lynch, I did nothing of the sort. My job was basically be the mole for the traders themselves. I processed the trades and basically did errands for them. So I became, and I was determined to be, the best errand boy that you could possibly be. I was the first person in the morning and often the last to leave. I tried to know everything there was to know about every trade the firm ever did. In addition, I even took on extra tasks. The firm had lots of research analysts. I would, in the morning before the traders got in, summarize all of the research that had come out and all that the analysts had said and try to put it on their desk before they arrived. There wasn't email back then, so I literally had to Xerox each page and put it on their desk. I maybe took this too far when I decided to make the coffee and try to have that brewed before they arrived too, but that was a little weird because I never drank coffee. It was only a couple of years later that I found out that they absolutely hated my coffee. But you know what? It wasn't about the coffee. It was about getting noticed and them appreciating my effort and advancing my career. So remember this, and this is maybe the most important thing I'm going to tell you. How can you expect to be a successful executive without being successful in all of the jobs leading up to it? Build a pattern of success. Be world class at everything you do. This will get you noticed. Which brings me to advice number 3, which is to build your own personal database. The knowledge you acquire and the people you meet will be the lifeblood of your career. Every year at the bank, now we're fast forwarding, I used to give the opening remarks to our incoming class of analysts and associates, which really was the newly minted MBAs and BAs, some like yourself maybe, that were starting in Wall Street. I would say something like this. Welcome, everyone. You're going to be given a lot of work and very long hours. It's going to be grueling. This is a tough job. The good news is that you have the much better end of this deal. In addition to being well paid, you will gain exposure to all areas of our firm, learn key details about our business, and meet many, many important people. This is the currency that will advance your careers. Opportunities come all the time. Pay attention. Build your personal databases and be ready for these opportunities when they arise. Well, in my case, it turns out I had spent so much time becoming a research expert, I was reading reports and cultivating relationships with our research analysts, that I was able to build my own database and network my way to a coveted job as a founding member of the high-yield bond research team. High-yield bond means junk bonds. And I had no idea at the time of what an exciting area that was going to lead to. And that's sort of one of the main places that propelled my career. Which brings me to advice number 4, which is when you do your homework, and yes, there will be homework sometimes after college, and you're sure you're right, and you've analyzed the heck out of a situation, then stick your name out. Stick your neck out, rather. Stick your neck out. This is how you're going to get noticed. I had a great time as a high-yield research analyst. My first job in research was to analyze the casino gaming sector. You're not going to believe this, but two of my biggest, probably my two biggest clients at the time were none other than Steve Wynn and Donald Trump. It's true. I had no idea at the time, I'm sure none of you did either, how things would have turned out for those two guys, but that's clearly a story for a different day. What was cool about the job was that an analyst basically did two things. They researched companies, developed opinions about those companies, and wrote the opinions in the form of research reports. But it was an odd thing back in Wall Street in those days. It was a very Gentile period. And there was no such thing as a sell recommendation. Nobody ever came out and really said something nasty about a company back then. There were only two opinions you can have when you rated a stock or a bond. It was buy or hold. Well, that was unfortunate because I had done an enormous amount of work on a company called Bally Manufacturing. The more work I did, the more obvious it was to me that this company was in imminent danger. It was probably going to go under. So I did the unthinkable. I wrote a sell report on Bally's. It was called Bally's Not So Grand. I did this against the advice of my bosses. I did this against the advice of our clients, and I even did this against the advice of our banking team that feared losing a very important client of their own. It turns out that the company did go under shortly after my report. An activist investor who had taken a stake in Bally was so interested in my analysis that he began to have regular dialogue with me. He went on to become the largest shareholder and ultimately CEO and chairman of the company. With my help, he successfully restructured the company, and over the ensuing years, we got to underwrite literally 100% of Bally's business after that. I took a chance, I stuck my neck out, and it paid off. Well, I followed my own advice after that, and I, one, embraced the journey. Two, I tried to be world-class at everything I did, no matter how small the task might be. I continued to build my personal database. And when I believed I was right and I had really done the work, I was willing to stick out my neck. It took me very far. I got promoted a few times and ultimately ran the high yield or junk bond business at my firm. I left after 14 years to another firm, Deutsche Bank, where I took on even more responsibilities. And then after over 3 decades as a banker, I left, I stuck my neck out to become president of my own investment management firm, or of an investment management firm called Benefit Street Partners. It was small. That small firm today, now 6 years later, has 25 billion assets under management. And I have to tell you, it is a lot of fun and it's incredibly gratifying to work and do something at a much smaller scale. So all of you budding entrepreneurs out there, take heart. It's really exciting. This brings me to my 5th and final point. Remember I said there were 5. This one is not so much about business, it's about life. It's live every day to the fullest. Cherish your family, enjoy your friends, do what you love. You never know how long you're going to have. This sounds really trite, I know, almost like bumper sticker trite, but this really came home to me in a big way earlier this year when I was diagnosed with malignant melanoma, and I actually began to contemplate my own mortality. Well, my story has a really happy ending. After surgery, I tested negative, and I am now cancer-free. Thank you. But nevertheless, this experience made a lasting impression upon me. And in that vein, I just want to say in the audience today is my beautiful, smart, loving, and supportive wife, somewhere up there, Marty, along with my 2 gorgeous and successful daughters, Margot and Liza. I tried to persuade both of my daughters otherwise, but both decided, go figure, to attend schools other than SUNY Binghamton. Despite this, believe it or not, both are doing exceptionally well and thriving. And I just must say that those 3 people are the loves of my life. And for all of my career success, Without my family, I would have exactly, precisely, 0. So you're going to like this part a little bit more. I also make a point to stay in close contact with many of my close friends. 6 of my very closest friends today were my classmates at Binghamton. We even speak daily on a group chat called Crew. I know, we don't do any of the other stuff. By the way, the 6 of us and a few others were the founding members of a frat on campus that we were glad to see is still here, Tau Kappa Epsilon, Teak. Anybody Teak? Guys, that thing really took off. Anyway, I'm delighted to say that in the audience today are some of those very close friends, and in fact, some of my closest. Paul Fishman, Jeff and Jolie Korak, and Dave and Pam Well. Thank you guys for coming. I also do what I love, and I have to throw this in. In my case, it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's right, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I took it up about 15 years ago when I was in my early 40s. Some called it a midlife crisis. I called it a passion. Now, after all these years, I am a first-degree black belt, and I own my own martial arts gym, and it's one of the things I do every day. So do what you love. So I know how this all probably sounded. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I know I just made this sound like a ridiculous easy fairy tale. It is anything but. Guys, life is hard. The real world has many, many ups and downs. Sometimes the downs feel insurmountable. In my case, I guess I just won a war of attrition. If you do anything long enough, you just may ultimately succeed more than you fail. Be prepared for this struggle. Be resilient. Work hard. I really hope this was helpful. Good luck, Bearcats. You graduated. You graduated from SUNY Binghamton. You guys can do anything. The rest is up to you. Go get them. Harpur College, class of 2018.
Thank you, Richard, for that inspiring story. I'm now pleased to introduce Gary Keibel, who is the president of the Alumni Association Board, who would like to congratulate you on behalf of the Alumni Association. Gary?
Thank you, President Stenger, and congratulations to the class of 2018. I'd ask for you all to please rise as Kelsey Watts and the University Wind Symphony perform the Harpur Alma Mater. The lyrics can be found on page 24 of your commencement program.
Oh, hail to Harpur, hail to thee. May honor crown thy heritage.
Thank you. You can be seated. On behalf of the Binghamton University Alumni Association, it's my pleasure to congratulate you on your fantastic accomplishments, graduates. And to celebrate this very special moment, I'm going to give each of you a free yet very valuable gift today: lifetime membership in the Binghamton University Alumni Association. You're welcome. This is something truly valuable. You are now a member of an organization with more than 130,000 members in all 50 states and over 100 countries. Your Alumni Association is one of the most important professional and social organizations you will ever join. Believe me, it's a hot ticket. We have almost 4,000 new members joining this weekend alone. I'm sure you've walked around campus at some point or another wearing a Binghamton sweatshirt or hat. As you move on from school today, I encourage you to continue to wear Binghamton on your sleeve. You are now an emissary and ambassador for Binghamton. Your success reflects on the school and other alumni, and the success of other alumni reflects on you. Among our many accomplished alumni are CEOs and senior management at leading corporations, leaders in the financial and legal industries, the most talented engineers, teachers, nurses, social workers, and professionals of all kinds, as well as media personalities, movie stars, and even a United States congressman. I look forward to the day when there are posters of you on campus as accomplished alumni. And I'll admit it, you guys are much more impressive than graduates of my generation. I'm reminded of this every time I meet recent grads. I satisfied my science requirement by taking a geology class called Earthquakes, Whose Fault? And I took it pass-fail. So as you graduate today, I ask you to take 3 very important steps. Number 1, make sure that you are digitally connected to the Alumni Association at all times. Like us on our Facebook page, join our LinkedIn groups, follow us on Instagram and elsewhere, and visit alumni.binghamton.edu to make sure your information is always up to date in our alumni directory, Be Connected. We can't find you for opportunities if you don't first find us. Number 2, don't be a stranger. The Alumni Association holds over 80 events around the country each year. Sign up, show up, and have some fun with your fellow alumni. And number 3, make new Binghamton connections. When you come across another Binghamton graduate, use that common bond as an opportunity to open a door. Tell older alumni how amazing our campus looks. I'm giving the same message to all graduates this weekend. You and I are now connected forever, and I'm looking forward to connecting with my 4,000 new best friends. You're a Bearcat for life, and I am honored to be in the same alumni association as you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gary. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Jack Dillman, the 2018 Harpur College of Arts and Sciences Commencement Student Speaker. Jack is graduating today with majors in cinema and English. He has been an active member of the residential life communities, serving 3 years as a resident assistant and a year on the resident assistant training committee. Jack has been very involved with the co-rec and intramural sports leagues and with the Dickinson Town Council since entering Binghamton in the fall of 2014. Please welcome to the podium, Jack Dillman.
Thank you, Dean Chilton, faculty, and staff, and thank you to my family. I'd like to welcome friends, family, and friends that have become family. Nearly every graduation speech I've heard starts up with some meaningful and inspiring quote. Quotes said by individuals who are in the pantheon of human society, people we should all strive to be like and emulate. So here goes my attempt. A life full of regret is not a life worth living. You all haven't gotten your diplomas yet, so this is your final exam. Who said that? All right, President Stanger, by the lack of responses, I hope you got a good return policy on those diplomas. It looks like we all need another semester. If you couldn't figure out the person who said that, they aren't famous, more of a local celebrity. That person is me. At first, it may seem narcissistic to quote yourself at your own graduation speech, but I have about 3 minutes to convince you it's with good intentions. All too often, we are told how similar things are to the past. I'm sure you've heard, this is the next that. Growing up watching and playing sports, the best comparison I can think of is a never-ending debate over who is the next Michael Jordan. While yes, Jordan changed the game, LeBron is already a better basketball player. I'd like to form... I'll get to that. All right, I'll get to it. I'd like to formally apologize for starting the hot topic of your post-graduation brunch. And for those who are still mad, I'll stick around after so we can have that very debate about who the GOAT really is. These comparisons are natural. As people, we compare to things we know, things that we are familiar with. When something we are familiar with leaves, we quickly go looking for a replacement. Yes, it is important to pay respects to those people and things that come before you. However, no longer should we strive to be the next Jordan, Oprah, or the next anyone. We need to be the first Jack Dillman. Well, don't be the first Jack Dillman, because that goes against my point, and I already called that one, but be the first, insert your name here. We mustn't define our success based off the ideas of others or the boxes society places us in. We have the power to define our own success. As we finish our undergraduate careers, for many of us, the future is unknown. The unknown can be frightening, but there is also a beauty in it. Let me be the first to tell you, it won't come easy, but anything worth having in life shouldn't come easy. For those who tell you you can't do it, I have 4 words for you to tell them. Look at me now. To my 3rd grade teacher, who told me I was too stupid to read the Harry Potter books, I say, look at me now. To myself, who almost quit school after my uncle died, I say, look at me now. Well, now, it's your turn. Think of someone who has doubted you and told you you couldn't be here today. And at the count of 3, say it with me, and all together, let me and them hear it. All together now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whatever your dream may be, I encourage you to pursue it. It will be tough. You will fail at times. But failure is necessary on any great journey. What is more important is how you get back up from those failures. That's truly what life is. The most confusing story you'll ever write, but the most beautiful story you'll ever tell. As a chapter in your book closes, never stop writing your story for the world to hear. Always pick your own quote and be your own biggest fan. Because if you aren't, who will be? Well, maybe besides your mom. Hi, Mom. So I'll leave you with another quote. Failure. A 7-letter word you must hear over and over again to get to another 7-letter word. Success. I'd like to close by saying congratulations to the Binghamton University class of 2018. You all earned this, and look at you now. I couldn't think of a better group of people to spend my years here with. I can't wait to see all the amazing things you do in the world and what the future holds for us all. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Great story, Jack. Thank you for your remarks. At this time, we will recognize the accomplishments of our baccalaureate degree candidates. Dean Chilton, please come forward for the presentation of our baccalaureate degree candidates from the Harpur College of Arts and Sciences.
First, we will recognize students who have achieved Latin honors. We recognize 3 levels of achievement: cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. The names of the candidates for these honors appear in the commencement program. Almost 600 Harpur College students are candidates for Latin honors, so we will not announce each by name, but we shall recognize students attending today by having them stand in place. Candidates graduating cum laude, please rise. You may be seated. Candidates graduating magna cum laude, please rise. You may be seated. Candidates graduating summa cum laude, please rise. You may be seated. My congratulations to you all on your outstanding academic achievements. Latin honors are based on a student's cumulative grade point average. Students who have earned the distinction of departmental honors or distinguished independent work have achieved academic excellence and have been recognized by the faculty in their major department. Will all baccalaureate degree candidates please rise? That's all of you. President Stanger, as the Dean of Harpur College, I am pleased to present to you these candidates who have fulfilled all their baccalaureate degree requirements as prescribed by the faculty. Professor Mary Youssef, please join the President and me in greeting the degree candidates from the Department of Classical and Near Eastern Studies. Student Marshal Jordan Sarf and School Marshal Florence Plasman, please lead the candidates to the platform so that all may receive recognition for their academic achievement.
I don't know. Okay. Florence. Jordan S. Sarf. Joshua T. Hummel. Brendan Graney. Gianna C. Bragiotti. Nicholas G. Sisti. Nicholas T. Cioffi. Chloe T. Rayfeld. Brandon P. Betch. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Julia Walker please join me to acknowledge the candidates from art history? Georgia Westbrook. Brandon T. Bond. Haley Hoffman. Matthew A. Pitcher. Johanna M. Boyce. Teresa Ferrara. Matthew M. Brady. Vicky Sue. Namrata M. Gandhi. Rujian Wu. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Robert Ji Yong Koo from Asia and American Studies please join us to recognize your majors? Priyanka Das. Hyung Jun Pang. Nicholas A. Borhi. Mao Tzu Tim Chao Du Ri. Samantha J. Cavallaro. Wan Jung Pai. Emma Bennick. Elena Liu. Jinghan Li. Yi Zhang. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Anthony Ephraim Donkar from Africana Studies please join us to recognize your graduates? Davina Campbell. Kiashoria K. Armstrong. Brett S. Murphy. Christiana I. Orwande. Malcolm M. Udason. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Brian Wall from Cinema please join us to recognize your graduates? Howard Loretti. Shane R. Smith. Spencer L. Stanulus. Heman Armstrong. Patrick J. Bartholomew. Jack Darman. Matthew Kaser. Sky K. Shoemaker. Brian Tatro. Boygang Pang. Kyle M. Plunkett. Yasin Kim. Nicholas W. Mikulski. Allison Wanchoba. Shui Ji Fang. Songlin Chang. Melinda Ocasio. Paul Alexander. Grace J. O. Mia H. Leopold. Andrew K. Peterson. Zachary J. Marciello. Sabrina L. Tentoromano. Stephanie A. Nolan. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Andy Merriweather please come forward to greet the graduates from anthropology? Nolan J. O'Hara. Lorna E. Erb. Rebecca L. Kunatala. Brittany M. Geisenheimer. Zuzu G. Boomer Knapp. Liana Thomas. Mia G. Blatt. Alan B. Saltzman. Bianca K. Ramos. Taria K. Partica. Tori Pena. Jiayuan Gu. Kristen M. Perez. Christy Tillman. Chelsea A. Cunico. Tanner G. Cossins. Jacob Lazen. Reshma Satish. Miriam C. Butler. Emma K. Blystone. Monica G. Hope. Stephanie Joseph. Christella Morena. Maritza Minkala. Natalie Rivera. James Q. Benjamin J. Heckman. Wei Howden. Emily Roberts. Emily Sands. Hannah L. Elliott. Jillian Schultz. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Eriks Rosners from chemistry please come forward to welcome your majors? Jessica H. Chase. I can't see it. Roman Guten. Owen L. Berry. Estefania H. Herrera. Elizabeth G. Turner. Joenia L. Arambulo. Che Wong Hun. Leslie A. Velasco. Madalena Grabos. Shelby Kiefer. Jason E. Anasini. Maggie T. Fox. Kelly L. Mosman. Daniel M. Adrian. Ajayi I. Anthony. Justine Chen. Bianca Chakravorty. Airbrie Lul. Tyler J. Meinhold. Ted M. Lamb. Hui Zhang. Elise D. Ficaretta. Michelle F. Crook. Jasper Ainsworth. Crystal J. Lee. Caitlin Alabaugh. Michael Deck, Zachary T. Keck, George F. Dorrington. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Natalia Mijatovic please come forward to greet the candidates from Art and Design? Emily J. Sullivan, Anna I. Botwina, Peter H. Klopsis, Jordan D. James, Jennifer L. DiBernardo, Hee Young Kim, Ziyi Dong, Bethany Gordon, Caitlin J. Ironside, Maya Wexler, Michael Sugarman, Kevin A. Sussy, Sean W. Fleming, Rebecca Nasibi, Shira Peretz, Jason M. Schindler, Megan Patuchit, Eleni I. Brantley, Katie Lau, Shamar Middleton, Christy Sturdivant, Kayla E. Madden, Christy Sheep, Carolyn M. Sardella, Gabrielle S. Cohen, Lindsay B. Weinstein, Gabrielle L. Gertzman, Amanda R. Ormanian, Sooyoung Kim, Eretz David, Clarice L. DeRosia, Shannon Van Pelt, Abby Pointerio, Ashlyn D. Kelly, Javier Suarez, Sarah Young, Singer Young, Da Young Lee, Lily Doe, Nicole S. Kim, Kaylee Liu, Margot Karlovich, Aika Matushiro. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Susan Bain please join us to greet the candidates from biochemistry? Nur Rehman, Margaret M. Mandato, Natalia Quiros, Julie Robb, Colin P. McLoyne, Malavika Kalarekal Putor, Victoria A. Velasquez, Alexandra Bayer, Yara M. Holloway, Jyoti Dolinek, Cynthia J. Edler, Kyunwoo Pak, Abigail R. Wiss, Jonathan Vasudevan, Frank Maron, Julie A. Townsend, Yaming Wang, Alpha Mba, Adia Matthew, Marissa G. Curlin, Lauren E. Waldick, Isabel Abrusnik, Stone B. Geis, Robert M. Volodarsky, Liam E. Campbell, Samuel R. Engel, Victoria A. Laparino, Francis M. Gasick, Jessica S. Armand, Zachary H. Abate, Alexander J. Weber, Sungjin Kim, Devan A. Patel, Tiffany A. Brown, Patrick J. Carroll, Chelsea Baker, Michelle E. Smith, Angelica Collins, Michael M. Gilanio, Famida Alam, Luis M. Medens, Yeman Chang, Kelsey Story, Janelle A. Carr, Stephen Edward B. Ruiz, Michael Chu, Joel P. Kenneth, Lucy Gao, Sarah Ahmad, Andrew J. Castilla, Gadi Bafo Eshun, Dina S. Mumin. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Karen Sauer from Biological Sciences please come forward to recognize your majors? Lindsay N. Brown, Emily K. Fox, Danielle Masick, Jake E. Dertinger, Angelica M. DeSantis, Ryan A. Rezick, Alyssa A. Curcio, Jake Schwartz, Alvin Saju, Mitch J. Jacobson, Robert A. DiBiase, Tiffany Ryan, William Chin, Courtney L. Ray, Ashkan Rahimi, Colleen O'Malley, Michaela J. Phillips, Karina Vlaun, Janet Perez, Sonia Zabala, Byron Lucero, Samantha Forbes, Stephanie Mount, Amelia Martin, Christy Chowdhury, Francesca Ramirez, Jennifer Augustin, Vivian Wong, Stephen J. Mucci, Shilpa Patel, Thomas Park, Roman Stika, Justin J. Patricia, Natalie K. Anselmi, Mario Amaya Rivas, Corinna Lynn, Benjamin T. Schroeder, Paulina Taffler, Olga Ostrovetsky, Ilana A. Piatetsky, Gabrielle E. Moran, Kelsey M. Kill, Benjamin Baber, Danielle M. Devana, Rose A. Childs, Casey J. Miranda, Aditi Roy, Jimmy Zhang, Delia Archie, Sahar Pakravan. Talia A. Sedeno. Aisha Kakar. Nawang Dolma. Angela Foligno. Ariana Cardona. Jairo Rosario. Jessica K. Gene. Josue D. Ramos. Melvina Amamu. Richard O. Antwi. David Owusu. Blessing B. Olunubi Ojo. Shreen R. Dubé. Carlos R. Benitez. Ryan Gyanchand. Jessica E. Persabali. Kristen N. Phillips. Maria C. O'Gara. Michael V. Borelli. Brian P. O'Shea. Faith I. Porzilli. Carolyn H. Neck. Keith R. Anderson. Shaylin R. Hilliard. Jonghyun Cho. Dana L. Ramalado. Kayla N. Zafar. Mahdi Shatzbazi. Anthony R. Curti. Mitchell Ittinson. Dominic J. Ponzi. Grant W. Lindhorst. Markel Gilliard. Katazina Rivbeck. Lindsay C. Florek. Joseph Daniel. Bernadette Yu. Kristen Sierra. Deborah Yu. Brent S. Fogel. Brendan M. Nally. Catherine A. Spurniak. Alex Almonte. Audrey Yue. Danielle L. Guida. Martin A. Lempert. Anna Marzalik. Christopher A. Coticio. Aisha L. Furi. Alexis M. Costello. Stephen J. Cavatayo. Logan R. Vero. Zachary Smith. Priyanka Chanbarasergaran. Gabrielle M. Pasiak. Ian J. Murray. Rachel Zielinski. Rachel S. Feuerstein. Alexandra Terracone. Carolyn N. Menichia. Catherine Z. Hatziyanis. Stephen A. D'Agostino. Wyatt A. Richter. Jared A. Madoun. Alexandra Dolgetta. Nicole Velasco. Manoski Zaret. Hagari U. Tatkari. Kaylee Eswad. Courtney Holvey. Samantha M. Black. Maxwell A. Malinsky. Sean N. Ryan. Matthew J. Wersevic. Jared A. Jager. Amelia Sorti. Matt S. Goldman. Nicholas J. Komanecki. Kayla A. Truxell. Kimberly A. Fascaglione. Mitchell Pang. Brandon S. Sun. Jae Hyun Lee. Benjamin K. Yoon. Ji Wen Yu. Jesse H. Choi. Isabel H. Kim. Catherine Lerner. Sun Sik Chong. Benjamin W. Rubin. Jason P. Francis. Connor E. Brabant. Lawrence Jung. Joseph M. Hamden. Alec Gaspari. Nutsa Siwatra. Jasmine Gorbani. Emily Hodak. Diane E. Matthews. Emily J. Faso. Malika Palacios. Jai B. Patel. Ezra J. Gutman. Alexis L. Delatour. Kelly A. Baker. Jing Wong. Scott Hickerson. Devendra D. Sasanarin. Ray Sakyu. Brianna F. Firestein. Elmasa Talovic. Azima Qureshi. Andrea Ndoka. Andrea. Elizabeth M. Aliberti. Brittany M. Gilmartin. Alexa R. Daly. Gianna A. DeMace. Sebastian J. Garachi. Kristen Cole. Haley L. Burge. Michael E. Letkovic. Oksana Zubritska. Ronnie S. Schoenhaus. Victoria C. Buds. Bianca Marrero. Lisa Marie A. Valentino. Kyle F. Cullen. Gabriela Porok. Paula Orellana. Frank Rusa. Kyle Dan. Redian B. Petrella. Ashwin Varki. Linda Pak. Christopher Bonagura. Lon Yui Si. Ayesa Bianca de Palma. Marion Brown. Caitlin B. Woodruff. Sarah Singer. Nicole Glazer. David P. McAvoy. Vincent N. Longobardi. Sabina Bechuk. Gabriella Beistock. Jason A. Gretterall. Brianna C. James. Karma E. Mehu. Hunter G. Fiesel. King Martin Opario Fai. Monsieur R. Abik. Stephanie M. Guaratin Yowri. Jomar I. Kandori. David Trong. Nicole Y. Gim. Joy Pang. Kayla Lau. Christopher J. Ng. Kyle A. Chin. Bridget Tsang. Lillian Tran. Jessica Chung. Matthew A. Cohen. Ayana Sepas. Thank you, Professor. Would Professor Barry Jones from the Department of Economics please join us to recognize your candidates? Vanessa I. Olivo. Emmanuel Bacardi. William R. Wandra. Matthew D. Bonci. Ivan Levin Steinberg. Robin D. Schwartz. Becky E. Salzberg. Delaney Bailey. Perry Zumbach. Kristen P. James. Nicholas A. Felon. Raymond Tieng. Adrian F. Rivera. Steve Torres. Christian R. Pacha. Xin-Chui Chi. Adam Long. Bren Winroka. Cliff Marks. George F. Mastorides. Daniel C. Stafford. Jason Haguli. Brandon Auerbach. Dakota L. DeSantis. Brendan P. Gillen. Glenn Evasado. Daniel J. Steinbrecher. Mateo G. Maroon. Rachel Mahadeo. Kelly Chung. Pak Wing Jung. Paul Annunziata. Andre Scala. Ryan Peterson. Estefania Meza. Caitlin A. Matthias. Hadley P. Sinkowitz. Christina M. Fibkins. Maya E. Reed. Jake Ivana. Oscar Tan. Kelly Chen. Edward Yu. Nupur S. Murthy. Jennifer Guzman. Chris Truskowski. Cassie Jiang. Douglas J. Kutu. Al-Hassan Keita. Catherine G. Millett. Patricia A. Hanley. Benjamin Ovetsky. Serena Tomaridis. Megan J. Goldstein. Asia J. Baker. Mugarem J. Sinha.
Thank you.
Shana Chen. Kevin C. Lee. Donghoon Lee. Ansel Guo. Jack Luo. Kana Presserchong. Grace Gao. Alyssa J. Alonzo. Alexander J. Pickett, Eric J. Dillon, Jacob Chanovsky, Anthony Ortiz Urena, Meredith A. Zimick, Nicholas E. Margolin, Nicola, Lauren E. Lilly, Matthew R. Leichert, Matthew A. Urrutia, Luis Paredes Sanchez, Ryan T. Corey, Robert Dean, Max Cohen, Josephine K. Arton, Jiaji Chen, Yu Liu, Chui Yan Wu, Yibai, Alexander M. Brillantino, Zachary M. Kolesnik, Brandon K. X. Sperling, Yair M. Saraf, Aaron Rasteger, Gil Y. Dubin, Angelo Lozano, Valeria Bolayakova, William Brosius, Evan P. Hoyt, Zachary M. Scala, Krishnapriya Jadev, Abigail C. Humphreys, Joseph A. Orlando, Jake Earhart, Casey Barrett, Drew M. Tenbus, Adam J. Kalinowski, Jillian M. Holfester, Patrick Yue, Ashif Hassan, Abel Duran, Nazrul I. Chowdhury, Ariel T. Levin, Chason, Christopher Almeida, Patricia K. Esepresti, David Alexander, James Sosa, Daniel A. Harris, Christopher F. Darasmo, Alexander W. Jordan, Matthew R. Gottlieb, Lydia C. King, Catherine M. Engel, Daniel Chowdhury, Brendan G. Kenny, Christian Castillo, Moscos M. Chrysanthemum, Anthony Cavallis, Benjamin J. Eltlinger, Rory C. McCreesh, Vito L. Anteri, Zachary Negrin, Ariel J. Shimon, Michelle K. Wong, Lindsay Liskanek, Shaya F. Korami, Benjamin Chen, Sydney Chen, Zishan Lakhani, Neil Kiamal, Jeffrey Lee, David H. Fixler, Jiayin Liu, Zian Wang, Ling Bai, Xu Yuyan, Xiao Yu Wang, Dongjun Li, Kevin Liang, Jackie Wu, Tiffany Lee, Norman Lee, Nabidul Islam, Nwawang Chultin. Sebastian Arde. Aikibo Watson. Andrew Ganfarouche. Dean J. Knoll. Luis A. Rios. Emmanuel O. Omotoso. Praise O. Emmanuel. Niels J. Theodore. Aaron N. Rapone. Aiden J. Rubenstein. Drew R. Robson. Brianna N. DeMeo. John T. Brown. Jake Balkin. Amelia C. Byrne. Sushan E. Dickey. Gabriela J. Lau. Brandon C. Morales. Charles A. Infantino. Brandon Baker. Emily Greenwell. Connor F. Joy. Vincent J. Quinn. Andrew L. Dobrowski. Nicholas V. Franco. Dylan J. Marquez. Patrick Rapace. Alexis M. Kirk. Jesse J. Kovacs. Gustavo M. De La Croce. Nicholas P. Klebitz. Michael A. Flanagan. Christian X. Stukas. Anruda Ataniel. Jacqueline Langer. Jackie Ho. Daniel J. Mazurik. Liam W. Riom. Thomas F. McAndrew. Austin J. Machi. Kevin R. Fuchs. Matthew Schlossberg. David Pan. Jiatuan Luo. Ari Vusuterna. Matthew R. Spartzel. Maxwell C. Shiro. Kelvin Ng. Luis Scudero. Sean A. Medson. Fabio P. Purita. Ankur K. Ghosh. Matthew Schwab. Saren Gray. Tyler E. Goldfarb. Tarang Turomaletsky Seti. Christopher Volpaccio. Benjamin M. J. Benjamin Toledano. Minje Pak. Andrew G. Vignali. Robert J. Donaldson. Kirti Baral. Timothy E. Tan. Jose L. Dyson. Sabrina Khan. Thomas Bars. Dana P. Fox. Raymond Henry. Brandon Healy. Trevor A. Kriegel. Donna F. Parlata. Christine A. Perron. Tiffany Chin. Jenny Jen. Melody Lynn. Jem Mutlu. Thank you. Ryan Thomas Keenan Striska. Brian Daly. Jonathan Parker. Victor Wong. Gabriel P. Samaniego. Carol Ju. Jia Young Hu. Jae Chen Lee. Jae Sung Lee. Ki Kwang. Da Sol Jung. Bo Jun Gu. Hee In Lee. Hyunwoo Kim. Jae Young Yu. Chung Hwan He. Amanda Cho. Kimberly Fernandez. Myron Hu. Deanna Payumo. Zheng Yan Liu. Ran Chi Zhao. Jai Ming Tsui. Dunro Wang. Chi Chi Shi. Gong Jie Zhang. Yu Pei Zhang. Xiao Wei Chen. Hao Liang Shen. Wei Shan Duan. Shu Xiao Fei Zhao. Divya R. Ramdath. Ji Henry Zheng. Wenchen Lin. Ji Jun Zhuang. Qi Lin Zhang. Qin Ya Yang. Yi Ling Wang. Eng Ting Zhu. Yilin Lu. Xu Hui Guo. Yun Danjing. He Huang. Jinggan Gao. Shui He. Siyu Liu. Brandon W. Edmondson, and you can have your phone. Hera Kayyum. Jungbin Lee. Rowen Wang. Shen Yu Chen. Justin P. Joseph. Yibo William Yu. Kevin Matile. Anthony J. Demio. Prabnur Multani. Joseph A. Molinari. John R. Santorelli. Ryan Walter. Ashley N. Gomez. Victor Lee. Wan Ying Cheng. C.G. Zhang. Yingri Lu Li. Jujuan Chen. Fan He. I never was happier to see anybody in my life.
Will all baccalaureate degree candidates please rise? President Stanger, I am honored to present to you these candidates for the baccalaureate degree by the university.
For those who have successfully completed all degree requirements by the authority vested in me by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees of the State University of New York and the Board of Regents of the University of the State of New York, I confer on each of you the appropriate baccalaureate degree with all the rights and privileges accompanying it. On behalf of the Binghamton University community, I congratulate you all for this well-earned accomplishment. As is customary, upon conferral of the baccalaureate degree, you may now move the tassel on your cap from the right to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, partners, parents, and friends, I present to you the Binghamton University Harpur College of Arts and Sciences Class of 2018.
Will all please rise as you are able? Gentlemen, please remove your hats as we sing the Binghamton University Alma Mater. We invite everyone to join in singing the refrain and the second verse. The lyrics may be found on the back cover of your commencement program.
In the rolling hills of Binghamton, 'neath ever-changing skies, where two gently flowing rivers meet, we form our cherished ties. Oh, Binghamton, we carry thee with us for all our time, and through us individually, forever may you shine. Together we spend these years, united in our aim. Through our bold pursuit of excellence, we proudly bear your name. Oh, Binghamton, we carry thee with us for all our time, and through us individually, forever may you shine. Forever may you
The spring commencement proceedings of the State University of New York at Binghamton are now concluded. We kindly ask the audience to remain in place for the academic recessional. Once the academic recessional is completed, please exit as soon as you're able to allow the families of the next ceremony's graduates to enter. Thank you.
Thank you.